What's going on, YouTube? This is Devlin James, Mr. Apathy, coming at you with another quick video. Just share my thoughts. Again, unscripted. Well, just finished watching the Eagles game. Watched the Eagles get spanked by the Broncos, and I knew that was going to happen. Looked like they were actually playing in the beginning, but then, it went to shit at the end, as it usually does. But anyway, moving on. I actually had my neighbor over. He was watching the game, and he's a cool guy, except he's big time into religion and the church and all that shit. And he's cool until he starts talking about the church and whatnot. And he's always trying to sell that dream. You know the dream. You hear it a lot in church, or I've heard it a lot in church. You know, that perfect plan that God has for you. That perfect woman that God has for you. That perfect plan to meet that perfect woman, get married, have kids, and start that perfect little life together. That dream. I get so tired of hearing that shit. I really do. I've heard it like for most of my life. And I know at my age, being in my late 30s, I know that it's all bullshit. So we got into a little, I wouldn't say, it wasn't an argument, we got into a discussion. But before I get into all that, let me lay down a couple variables about this whole, I guess, the dynamics of my neighbor. Now, he's in the church. I think he has a position in the church now, like a deacon or something. He's married, has 2 kids. Now, he's the sole breadwinner. His wife doesn't work. She's a full-time housewife, so he's bringing in all the money. He's taking care of all the bills. He's handling all the expenses. And, they seem to live, or they give the impression that they're like, that middle class. He drives a Escalade. She drives a Mercedes minivan. Give the appearance that they're well-to-do, all off of his dime, off of his back. He drinks, and you can imagine why. It's a lot of pressure, being the sole breadwinner, being the man. Anything happens, you're the one that's responsible. You gotta, find money to fix this. Something breaks in the house. There's a lot of pressure on you, and he works a lot of long hours. So he drinks. Now I asked him, because he was over here last weekend, and basically drank up a good amount of the liquor that I had here. I had that shout out to my man Ima. I bought the Kraken, that spicy rum. It's good. Well, anyway, he came over, and basically I didn't really open it until he came over. That shit got fucked up. I didn't even have as much of it as that, because really I'm not that big a drinker. Once in a while I'll have an occasional drink. Anyway, he was going to come over, and he was on the road. Called me to ask me if I wanted to come out. I'm like, nah, I was just chilling. I told him, you know what, if you're going to come over, bring over a 6-pack or something. Now, he drinks, right? I really don't drink like that. And I didn't restock my, my liquor, my beers from the last time he was over. This dude had to drive a half an hour out of his way, out of town, to go buy the liquor, out of fear that someone in his church might see him, because he can't let them see him. It's like, how could you live like that? Number one, being in church, I couldn't do it. That's why when people come with me with that religion thing, I have no interest of hearing or being any part of it, because I know what it is, and it's all bullshit anyway, as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, brings over the beer, and he's a Giants fan. And you know how wonderful the Giants are doing. So since Eli Manning couldn't get it done, he's there cheering for the Broncos because, of course, he hates the Eagles. And he got to go with the other Manning brother since, again, Eli can't get it together. So as we were watching the game and having drinks and whatnot, he's talking about old girlfriends and whatnot that he's dealt with, and talking about marriage and whatnot, and how he said everyone that owned the house that you had is a bachelor. From the first lady that had it built, she was alone, she was a bachelor. The guy that I actually bought the house from, he was a bachelor. He said, yeah, he used to have him over and had Cuban cigars. They used to go and smoke on the deck and whatnot. Now here he is, and hanging out with me and having beers and watching the game. And he starts telling me about women who are like that he loved, but he knew he couldn't marry because they're whores. They're fun. They'll let you do anything with them, and they're fun because they're cool and whatnot. But you can't marry them for the fact that they're whores. And he told me of one story in particular that stuck with me. And I'm telling you this for a reason. I'm going somewhere with this. All right. So pay attention to what I'm saying with this, and I'm going to come back and show you the humor in everything he's telling me. So he was messing with this girl who was a whore. Loved the girl. Girl loved him, and he knew he couldn't marry her. So they were going their separate ways. She got engaged, but he was still fucking with her when she was engaged to get married, right? As he put it, he was fucking her in the ass while she was engaged to some other guy. So you already know how that's gonna go out, and I already know in my head what scenario this was. All right, but they stopped talking when he got married to his wife because he told her, "Listen, you can't call me anymore." And she, of course, was saying, "Hey, look, when I was engaged, you're still fucking with me. Now that you're getting married, you're saying I can't talk, I can't deal with you." So that was it for her. She was done after that point. Remember this now, because I'm going to come back to this towards the end of the video. So we're going on and talking, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a bachelor for life. I have no intention of getting married. And he's like, well, you need a woman. I'm like, why do you think I need a woman? It's like, well, look at the bachelor pad here. You have, motorcycles, you have this, you have that. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Pictures of motorcycles. I have this set up the way I want. I have a glass case with, models of motorcycles and performance cars and things, because when I envisioned living alone, this is what I was going to have. And I was going to have a couch with a big screen TV where I could watch sports, a grill on the back. I have everything I want. What do I need a woman for? Well, she'll come and brighten it and whatnot. I don't want to brighten it. I'm fine the way I am. I'm not looking to get married. He's like, well, there are amazing women out there. I'm like, well, I mean, I beg to differ. The women out there, 70% of them initiate divorces. And he's like, that's not true. I'm like, look at statistics. They initiate the divorces. Why? Because they get a big payday. He's like, and he went in on to the normal stuff that guys, that the society will have you believe. Well, the reason the divorce is because the men cheat. I'm like, that's not true. Women cheat. You tell me that women don't cheat? Women that go on business trips. And that's when I went back to, the girl he was telling me about. The girl that he loved because she was a whore. I'm like, she wasn't even married yet. She's engaged and she's cheating with you. And you think that she's not, and I can tell you, you don't even have to tell me the rest of the story with her, because I'll finish it for you. Obviously, she didn't marry that man, that husband, because she loved him, because she wouldn't be fucking with you. No. She married him because he would be able to support her, and it was security. And she probably was giving him that good sex for a while. Then as soon as, she got the wedding ring and got what she wanted, no more sex. I tell you, she's messing with somebody on the side, right? Then what's going to happen? And I just ran down, and he couldn't say anything. Then what's going to happen? She's going to divorce him, get a payday, because she's going to get the alimony. She's going to get the house if they have a house. If they have any kids, she's going to get the kids. And he's going to be paying alimony plus child support. And you know what? She's not going to remarry, because as soon as she does, that's when the alimony is going to be over. So she's going to be banging some younger guy that she's attracted to off of his dime while he's trying to put the pieces together in his life. That's how it works in America. That's why I would not want to get married. He's like, well, that's not all women. I'm like, listen, it's not. You can't sell me the dream. I'm not ever looking to get married. That's it. I'm good. I'm good to go. You know, you can't sell me that dream. And he started telling me about the women at the church. Yeah, the women at the church. I know all about the women at the church, the X4s and the whatnot. It's like, yeah, like the pastor's daughter and her friends and whatnot. They're amazing women, and they can't find any men, you know. And you, well, you're not in the place to, you know, you're not there yet. You're not at that place where you can have a woman like that. I'm like, well, I like where I am. I'm where I need to be. I don't want to be in that place. I don't want to be going to some institution to validate myself from some institution. You know, telling me I have to live this way and be this way. Like I can't even go to the goddamn liquor store without worrying about someone looking over my back and judging me. Fuck that shit. You can have that lifestyle. In fact, if you really want to look at it, you know, you're trying to sell me on marriage. And, you know, he's talking about his wife and whatnot, and it seems, you know, he's like, yeah, I love my wife. I love my wife. But if I had to do it over again, I would get a woman who was like a doctor, he said to me. Why? Because, again, the pressure of having to be the sole breadwinner, it's a lot. So he's telling me he loves his wife, but he's saying it in a way where he has to remind himself, and he's thankful for what he has. But deep down, he wants something else because the pressure's too much. So all that I know, and here he is trying to sell me this bullshit dream. And I'm thinking to myself, if this dream was so good and marriage and everything is so good, why are you over here right now with me drinking? You're over here with the bachelor in his bacheloresque setting with the motorcycles and the this and that, watching the game and having a beer and having some drinks. Because you can relax and be yourself here, that's why. And I know that. And the reason that I enjoy my life, and I enjoy being a bachelor, and I enjoy being a MGTOW, man going his own way, or what I rather call a lone wolf, is because I wake up to freedom. I go to sleep to freedom. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do and not have to worry about some woman coming behind me giving me shit. I wake up to this peace. I go to sleep to this peace. I come home to this peace. And you like it too, because if things were so great with wife and the kids, you'd be over there watching the game instead of over here. So here you are over here trying to sell me some bullshit dream. Guy, stop trying to sell me the dream. I'm not buying into it, okay? I have no desire to get married. And I started telling them, I have no desire to get married ever. You know, I'm a man going my own way. And, you know, of course you say that and they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But this is what it is. It's me, this house, my life, my pet, and I'm good to go. But anyway, I just wanted to make that quick video, man. It's just funny. People are just funny. They try and I don't even think they really analyze what they're saying, or they don't know that you're aware of what's going on, or you see a bigger picture. It's like, dude, you're under a lot of pressure trying to live this dream. You can't be yourself because you're trying to live this dream. You're trying to mold your life into this ideal. I don't buy into that stuff. And because of it, I have a good life. So, you know, you keep your dream, man. You keep your ideal. You live by that. I'll live the way I live. And I guarantee you, I'll come out on top every time. Anyway, just share my thoughts. Just venting. Just making a quick video. Leave your comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you've come across people like this who do the same thing. who try to sell you their bullshit dreams, a lot of times I think they're just not really happy. They see you have the life that they want, and they tell you this shit so that you end up getting into the same bullshit, that they do, having the same struggles. I really think that's what they do. Maybe not intentionally, subconsciously, or whatnot, but I think that's what it is. Because they know that when you're married, you have the same misery, you have the same challenges, you have the same bullshit. But then, where are they going to go to get some relief? Anyway, that's it for it. That's it for my thoughts. That's all I got. Um, leave some comments, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Till next time.